Hi everyone, it's Alyssa, and this is the final mini haul for the month of July 2022 for the Barnes and Noble Criterion sale. And so for this one, I actually didn't go to the store. I had it sent to my house, and I'm glad I did because there were ones that I didn't have in my store. And I was on a road trip and I was planning on going to Barnes and Noble, but when you're on a road trip, you're not really thinking about let me stop at the store right now, or at least I wasn't. I just wanted to kind of get where we were going. So, one last haul, three of the four films I have never seen before, and one of them I have seen, but I don't think I've seen it since high school, and I have no memory, no recollection of it at all. So, I'm just really, really excited to get into these. And honestly, one is so incredibly embarrassing that I haven't seen, but I'm still sharing it. All right. So the first one in alphabetical order is Three Women. Now, this movie I've never seen, but one of my friends, when I used to work at Starbucks, many years ago at this point, one of my friends, she knew I loved movies and she had mentioned this film, Three Women, and it was hard for me to find it. At this point, there wasn't really streaming or anything like that. It was just I would have to actually find the DVD and buy the DVD. But it always stuck in my head because I respected her opinion, and I've never really seen Robert Altman movies. I've just seen Gosford Park is sort of the only one that comes into my head. I've never seen Nashville. I've never seen The Player. I've never seen Shortcuts. Those movies, especially like Shortcuts and The Player, those came out when I was a kid. So I remember them getting released, but obviously I wasn't allowed to watch them. And Gosford Park was the only one of his films that I was allowed to watch. So through the years, I kind of forgot about that recommendation. But then when I was going through Criterion and I saw that, it was really exciting to see that they have Three Women on Criterion. And I just love to see Shelley Duvall and Shelley Duvall giving such a great performance from everything that I've heard about this film. So I'm very excited for that one. The next one is the oh so truly embarrassing one for me, but I'm just going to say it. So it's Dr. Strangelove, which no, I've never seen. And yes, I've seen many Stanley Kubrick films, like many, many. Eyes Wide Shut, The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, all of the major one, Paths of Glory, like all of the major things and some of the minor, but I've just never seen that. I think it's because satire is so personal in terms of what is funny to a person and what is not funny to a person. And so there is this part of me that has, I guess, worried, am I going to actually find this funny? But there is never a better time to kind of delve into a movie than if you have the entire Criterion edition with the special features and it is the best quality. So I just felt like, okay, this is the perfect time to get it. And then the next one, this is what I have seen, and it's My Own Private Idaho, which when I was a teenager, Keanu Reeves was basically the only person in my eyes. And I loved River Phoenix. He had already passed away by the time that I was really watching films, but I had always gone back and watched his old films and really just appreciated him and where he was going. So, like I said, this is Gus Van Sant's film. It's based on a Shakespearean play. I don't even remember which one. That's how long it's been since I've seen this. But I just wanted to go back and sort of watch one of those movies that I remember enjoying when I was a teenager, but then sometimes you're like, well, did I like this movie because Keanu Reeves was in it, or was this actually a good film? But I feel like especially his movies from the 90s, I'm pretty good at discerning which were good performances from him or not. And when I think of Bram Stoker's Dracula, that was almost painful to watch, but maybe not as painful as Much Ado About Nothing. That was one of the most painful performances for him for me to watch, even though I love him, love him, love him. So I'm excited for this one. I know that River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves were really wonderful friends, and I'm assuming that that kind of chemistry is going to come across within this story. Although I do have this memory of the film feeling a little bit detached, a little bit cold, so I'm curious as to what it's actually going to be like. And then, so last but not least, this is one that I really just looked into on my own and wanted to see it. So it's called Wildlife, and it is written and directed, but written by Paul Dano and Zoe Kazan, and directed by Paul Dano. I love Paul Dano. I love Zoe Kazan. I actually just saw Zoe Kazan interviewing Ethan Hawke in Brooklyn in February, and it was just, they're just honestly such nice, genuine people. And it was one of the most interesting sort of interviews that I've seen, and it was so beautiful. It was in a church, and so I had that sort of moment in my head, and I had remembered that she wrote this film with Paul Dano. I had always steered clear of it, even though it got great reviews, because I'm not always the biggest Jake Gyllenhaal fan. Like, I know he's a good actor, but there's also a part of me that feels like he's just trying so hard. Like, he's just, his acting, he's always trying to do a great job, and it sort of comes across that he's trying really hard in a lot of his movies. I really think his performance is great in Nightcrawler. Obviously, I love him in Donnie Darko, but there are always those certain roles. I had a hard time with him in Brokeback Mountain, and I love Brokeback Mountain, but I feel like I watched that movie for just the tone of the film and Heath Ledger, and but he hurt the film a little, for me personally. But I'm putting that to the side because I also love Carey Mulligan. It's a family drama. It got really, really excellent reviews, and I feel like the two of them together, Paul Dano and Zoe Kazan, they are going to make something truly special and maybe a little uncomfortable and very authentic and genuine. So that's where I'm leaving it for now. This is it. I am done. I'm not going to buy another Criterion until November. I think there's a flash sale in October, so we'll see about that. Not sure, but I'm taking a long break, and I'm going to be able to catch up on all of these films and hopefully do some reviews on some older films that are Criterion, but also some newer films as well. Like, I just saw The Northman last night on 4K, and I'm so excited to talk about it. I just really, really loved it and appreciated every second of it. So, if you like this, please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all later. Thank you so much. Bye.